Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to another HarstemCast video. Today we have here on Hardwire a game played between Trap and HeroMarine. Trap playing for Guangdong Freaks, formerly known as Africa Freaks, formerly known as Spanu, formerly known as Startail. Am I missing any of the name changes that this team has undergone in the past 12 years? Prime, maybe? Was it Prime into Start? No, I think those were different teams. I can't quite recall. My StarCraft history is not that brilliant. But what is very brilliant this game is Trap, of course. Trap, the greatest TVP player to have ever done it. And HeroMarine here in the bottom left, one of the greater Terrans in this matchup, honestly. I really do appreciate HeroMarine in this matchup. I think he's extremely powerful, he's good. He knows how to play. And he's... yeah, just decision-making tends to be absolutely fantastic in this matchup. The map is Hardwire. I know a lot of Terrans don't really like it. It gives an easy 3 bases here for the Protoss player. You have this type of force-fieldable area. This area is relatively easily force-fieldable as well. There are some options, perhaps dropping into the main base, but none of those shenanigans are happening yet, as we're only 1 minute and 16 seconds into the game. And all that has happened so far is that Trap sent one of his workers across the map to try and scout what his opponent is doing. At the same time, barracks is being built right here for HeroMarine. HeroMarine finishes that barracks up, actually starts with a Marine. And it's not too odd, we see this a lot, but HeroMarine is a player that generally likes to open up with a Reaper. He likes to have full information. So far hasn't scouted with an SCV, hasn't scouted with a Reaper yet, and perhaps it's a bit of his preparation. Wow. We're seeing a CC on the high ground, which means that we get a factory before reactor as well. And these two kind of go together. They really do go together rather well. The factory before the reactor and the CC on the high ground. And the reason for that is very simple. When you get your factory before your reactor gets delayed by about, I think it's like 16, 17 seconds. And your factory is earlier by 15 seconds. Now, the timing of the first unit that a Protoss can send across the map, and the timing that it hits is around 2 minutes and 55 seconds. Usually, a Terran will already have 3 Marines at that point, but because the factory gets built before the reactor and the barrack stays inactive for a bit longer, the Protoss unit will arrive before Marine 2 and 3 are out, and will also arrive before any factory units are out. That means that there's like a 5 to 6 second window in which that single Protoss unit can potentially kill an SCV. And delay a command center that's building on the low ground, especially if the unit is a stalker, it can then continue kiting. So in order to skip a bunker, getting the orbital command on the high ground, I think is a fantastic call here out of HeroMarine. Trap sees the lack of a base, will now scout with his probe that indeed there is a base. Also sees that there's Hellions being popped out. This single stalker will need to be very careful here against 2 Hellions, as HeroMarine hasn't scouted anything yet. We'll use the first 2 cars to just check around the map, making sure that nothing too wonky is going on here out of the Protoss player. As we have a Blink on the way, Medevac coming out here as well for HeroMarine. A couple of mines are being built. And the first time I truly saw this build order was in Maru versus Showtime in one of the TSLs. I want to say it was TSL 6. It can also have been TSL 7. I can't quite remember. Back then Maru was playing a lot of 4 mine drop as a follow-up, but we see HeroMarine is playing it very safe, follow this up with a quick tank. So only 2 mine drop, 2 Hellions, and this should hit relatively quick. It shouldn't hit much later than 4 minutes and 15 seconds. If you go across the map straight away, you can really hit at 310. If you take a bit of a route, you know, around, like we see HeroMarine do, perhaps 4:15 is going to be the timing that you will be hitting. Hellions should start marching towards the front. There's a unit in the wall. I'm not quite sure if this battery is in range. It seems slightly out of range. Of course, this stalker can also move back. Blink won't be done yet for this Medevac, and that is a big deal. And that means that this Medevac will be able to force away a couple of these probes. So, it's gonna drop both of the mines in the same base. I think that is an error here out of HeroMarine. We'll be able to keep one of these 2 mines alive, but I think he could have denied mining in 2 bases at the same time rather than just in 1 base. Blink will finish up right now, and immediately we see the response out of Trap. It's going to start marching across the map. This is a risky move, and this means that Trap will need units at home. So he warps in extra stalkers, starts marching across the map with these 5 stalkers as well. car still alive could also go into this natural base. There's no unit anymore on the wall. I'm not quite sure what these Hellions are doing. Perhaps just spotting what's happening on the map. No bunker here, but the tank will be capable of defending these Marines for now. Raven is out as well, which means that observers will be a lot less useful. Are capable of being spotted and being sniped, not just by an auto turret, but also just by the Marines. So Raven provides a lot of vision. High ground tank will be extremely useful, and I'm a big fan of this SimCity so far out of HeroMarine, who still has this medevac alive. I just saw it boost, so it maybe had some plans, but perhaps decided to go back home. I'm not so sure what it was doing. HeroMarine defensively in a good position, aggressively killed 4 workers and only has lost a single mine. These 5 stalkers could be in a little bit of trouble here. There's a lot of bio, but without stim, without combat shield. One marauder just gets taken out for free. This tank's actually gonna get sniped. 2 stalkers go down, but for a tank and a marauder, that's a good trade. 2 workers also end up falling as this mine is going to target down this probe. It's going to unburrow one more time, denying more mining time than it ever should have. The mine isn't going to get lifted though, and that is a sloppy play here out of HeroMarine. Could have saved that. Now also will lose the medevac. That means that all these stalkers are now free to start marching on the map. Immediately, HeroMarine says, okay, if I lose my mine drop on the other side of the map, I can send my Raven, and that forces some units back, or forces a warp in. Templar Archives has finished up, and Storm has started for the Protoss player. Charge is on the way, no forges yet. We're on 4 gas. This is a very decent gas count, but there's simply not that many units yet. Right now, there's 8 Stalkers, a single Templar, and 1 Adept. 1 Templar without Storm isn't going to help very much, as Trap quickly needs to start warping in some units. There's a lot of units here in the main base, and there's nothing defending this Raven for now. Everything is on the map trying to delay this push out. Without concussive shells, these units will be able to escape for a little bit longer. The first auto turret goes down and will take out 2 workers and force a full pull away from this mineral line. As what's this Raven doing? Once again going into the 3rd base. Now we'll start moving in towards the natural. This turret's gonna get 3-4 more kills here. At the same time, this army is marching forward. A double drop heading towards the main base as well. Man, HeroMarine is absolutely everywhere in this game. Auto turret at the 3rd, auto turret in the natural. Big drop in towards the main base, as we also have a decently sized army marching towards the left. There's no medevac with this army, which means it's not going to get healed, but there's definitely an opportunity here for the German Terran player that he isn't taking as of this moment. There's nothing here, absolutely nothing. This push gets pushed back, and now finally HeroMarine will go in. But if he was doing this simultaneously, I actually think Trap would have been in a world of trouble. I still believe that Trap is in a little bit of trouble, but with that Archon, I'm not quite sure if it's going to finish morphing. Yes, it will. Super Battery gets activated. 2 mines will actually splash this tank to death, or, well, one of the mines practically will. Another mine burrows up. A simulator is being constructed here, and I do believe that this is a pretty decent start here for the Terran player from Germany. He's up in upgrades, has map control right now. Is not aware that there's an observer here, and that could potentially mess him up later on in the game. 9 kills on this Raven already, lots of auto turret damage. The Raven gets moved back. Perhaps wants to use it to spot some of these mines, or some of these observers. Mine gets taken out. There's no armory yet, and thus it will not stay invisible. Oh my god, the mine count here for HeroMarine is absolutely massive. We have a, what is it? What do you call this? A rich depot? A double depot here. Must have been some type of supply block. Ghost Academy gets thrown down as well as HeroMarine, really leaning hard into that unit production here, and also just into the fact that he's going to have a powerful army with pretty sophisticated tools. We have these mines, we have these ghosts coming in. Double robo transition is on the way. It gets scanned though. HeroMarine, very aware of what's going on, should immediately start his Viking production the moment you scan that, I think. It's so important to have continuous production on this starboard. Oh, decides to get 2 more medevacs. Huh. That actually is a surprise to me. He scanned that, yeah. He sees the 2nd robo, saw the robo bay. It's allowed, but it's an odd call here, I think. Vikings definitely are the answer. Huge pickup, though, out of HeroMarine. It's a bunch of these units in the medevacs. There are 4 stalkers in position. One of these medevacs gets taken out before it gets to land. 2nd medevac gets taken out, but majority of the units will be on the ground. Big recall coming in, and at least 1 Templar is going to be there. Storm hits, but it doesn't hit a whole lot. 3 mines do get damaged, but they won't fall quite yet. Sentry will take a big hit as well. second storm to clean up these mines. At the same time, we have this Raven. 11 kills still going on. Wow. It's quite a powerful harassment tool here. Salad Warping in the main base of HeroMarine is currently taking out a couple of workers, trying to kill some of these units, but the control out of HeroMarine just a little bit too good. A Strap still down 20 workers. First few ghosts are hitting the field right now. Yep, just now. No enhanced shockwave yet. No armory on the way yet either, by the way. No fort base on the way. Trap slowly but surely is stabilizing. Getting 2 more Colossi will go up to 3. Storm is done. +1 is done, +2 is on the way. We have thermal lens, and just now Viking production is starting. Look at that. 3 medevacs have gone down, 9 medevacs still on the map, 12 medevacs before Vikings. This is something that we don't really see anymore. This is extremely uncommon. This indicates that HeroMarine wants to play very drop heavy, so that it isn't as painful when you lose 1 or 2 medevacs, which he already has done. At the same time though, I just feel like HeroMarine still is in control. Although he hasn't really done a lot of damage, and although he doesn't have that many Vikings, he can still take good fights here. The bio army isn't that large, but right now Trap needs to start splitting. Gets all of his Colossi and his Templar towards the main base. The Gateway army towards the third seems to be working out for now. I mean, I think just a Templar would have been enough, honestly. This Observer spots that are just 4 medevacs. I think Templar Stalker will definitely do the trick. Single Colossi in there as well. So we see this Prism must have gone down just now. I'm not sure if this mine had anything to do with it, or these 2 Vikings. Neither seems to have any kills, but wouldn't surprise me if they at least dealt some damage, and maybe these Marines finished it up. We have 4 Vikings out already. Raven is coming back home with 130 energy on it. Means that a single feedback at this point would be capable of taking it out. Quick repair, of course, could fix that, and there we go indeed. Repair on the Raven, perhaps a repair on these medevacs as well, could be useful here for HeroMarine, who is getting that enhanced shockwave and finally starts adding the second eBay armory as well. We have the graphitic drive here. That's the movement speed for War Prisms. And rather than going straight into a higher disruptor count, we first see a 4th Colossi being produced here, perhaps to keep that main base safe, and also another Immortal. So 3 Immortals total. Now that delays the disruptor production, and I think disruptors are absolutely key in dealing with Marauder Ghost armies. Planetary also starts being built here on the fort base. As this Zealot run by, that should not be capable of doing very much. 8 barracks before second starport. This really is a playstyle that is focused so much on keeping map control and being able to split your army in different groups, fighting at different fronts. Because if you're relying on a pure bio army with single starport Vikings, it can be tricky to fight against an army that's going to have more disruptors. Right now it is still fine because the Viking count is large and there's 3 Colossi. Of course, Storm might make it harder, but once the disruptor count starts growing, often you really want to start splitting your army in 2 parts, or you want to be adding Liberators from double starport with those +2 ship weapons in combination with the big enhanced shockwave EMPs. You can then start one-shotting these Stalkers with your Liberators. From that point on, Toss's life becomes extremely difficult. Zealot Runby is going to get caught here by this army, or well, the Zealot army just kind of marches into the natural and doesn't really find anything. Storm's going down, Raven gets feedbacked. Storms will take out a lot of these Vikings actually. 2 Colossi still alive as well. Disruptor still here. So this part of the army also gets pulled to the fight. I think this was a fantastic fight here for HeroMarine. I didn't quite see that that second starport yet, but I do believe there is one. Where is it? I see 3 Vikings being produced. Oh, here we go. So we have that second reactor starport, and that's very important, of course. But right now, because that Viking count got reset, HeroMarine needs to desperately start producing more Vikings to make sure he doesn't die against the triple Colossi count. However, Disruptor count already at 6 as well. There is still a decent amount of Templar with Storm, so Ghost can die before this fight. Look at this concave though that HeroMarine is setting up. Definitely has some potential. Couple of Disruptor shots trying to zone. Here comes the fight from the back. EMP, EMP, EMP on the Storms. No! Storms get to go first. EMPs are very late here. Kind of blanketing this army in Storms is trapped. Will still lose a big portion of his army though. Recall, I like it. Will keep a large part of his army alive, which probably shouldn't have been able to stay alive. Especially if HeroMarine had decided to move forward a bit here. These two Immortals could be in trouble. Another stim forward. One concussive shell could do the trick here. Yes, there we go. First Immortal will fall. Second Immortal is also going to go down. There's no run-bys currently on the map. This base did end up falling. I didn't even see that happen. Might have just burned down. Vikings will... Oh my god. 11 medevacs, 7 Vikings, 11 Marauders, 15 Marines. The ground army is absolutely pathetic here out of HeroMarine, but his air army looks extremely menacing, and I think that Trap should almost completely transition in a pure ground army. Just throw these Colossi into your natural temporarily, wait for these Vikings to land, because there's no point in fighting with 1 Colossi against 7 Vikings. You won't be able to deal any damage before your Colossi dies, and if you can keep your opponent, if you force your opponent to have the Vikings around in that army, your opponent will have a lower army supply of bio. But if they give up all of their Vikings, then all of a sudden your 1 Colossi that you're hiding in your natural or at your third base could become very useful again. So you always have to be so careful as a Terran player with how many Vikings you want, as they very quickly can become that supply. At the same time, Trap's still only on 68 workers. That's a very low worker count for being on 5 bases. He is on 8 gas as well. We'll actually go up to 9 gas and perhaps even 10. Blink for the DTs is done too. A couple of Disruptors are out, 4 to be exact. And this is the type of army that wants to fight over a longer period of time. It wants to kind of throw Disruptor Ball after Disruptor Ball and not lose anything. Just get a little bit of damage with these Disruptor Balls every single time. Here we go, good Zoning Storm. Well, not so much a Zoning Storm as a complete storm on these Vikings. Another Disruptor shot that should be zoning. The one in the back over here not really participating in the fight for now. The Colossi obviously gets taken out. These Vikings should start landing soon. More Vikings are in production. +2 armor on the way. Shields as well. Super Battery cannot get activated currently. I think Trap might be in a little bit of trouble. We have 6 DTs marching in towards a natural base. There is a turret there, but should not be enough to hold this. So we have a couple of Disruptor shots here. And if one of these hits, this game could get turned around here. It's still 4 base against 4. There is a 5th done. Oh! Whoa, 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 whoa. Huge Disruptor Ball there, hitting a lot of these ghosts. 5 ghosts go down immediately. As there's 11 medevacs, and I think that's just a little bit too high on the medevac count here. The bio is almost non-existent. Same time, these DTs are, well, so far I think they've taken out a turret and they killed half a depot, and that's about it. So they do end up getting taken out. There's not that much income here for Trap, which is the real issue. If he was doing all of these moves of 78, 82 workers, I wouldn't mind it too much, but he needs to be way more careful with his army. He's on 62 workers. He hardly has any income. Sure, he's on, well, what is this? 7 gas at this point. No, actually 5 gas, because the 2 in the main have ran out. Still has the Disruptors alive, though, and HeroMarine has been struggling so far with the micro against these Disruptors. This shot will not hit. SCVs are kind of pretending to be a tank for this army. Will not quite work out. 2 DTs on the right side, but just 2 DTs. What is this guy doing? This is the bravest Templar I've seen in my life. I wonder if HeroMarine spotted that as well. Just kind of sprinkling these HTs around the map, making sure that you can storm, kind of retreat to a storm at some point as well is very important often. Making sure that there's a way to zone out the Terran army when it's trying to jump on your Disruptors, trying to jump on your carriers. Like, this is the type of move that we just saw or caught the tail end of, where if you have a Templar in these bushes, you can just storm. And even if it's just a zoning storm, or even if it gets EMP'd after, that's really okay. It's completely fine. It's just important that you get a little bit of breathing room and that you get another 4 seconds in which your Disruptors can recharge, because that is the most important thing right now. As there is no Liberators out, there's really no counter to the Disruptor. The Disruptor, if you have a sufficient number, will be able to shoot every single time. Ooh, that could have potentially been big. At first I thought it was a mismovement here. HeroMarine is caught out of position. This base could be going down, actually. There's no 5th base. Bunch of DTs jumping on top of this army as well. As a blink forward. I'm not sure if that's the call. The Disruptor shot definitely was the call, though. Huge flank coming out. EMP hits a lot of these Disruptors, and 2 of them do get sniped down. Trap up 20 supply here. This army should be getting cleaned up, though. You see the blink away as this Disruptor will fall as well. This orbital stays alive. Another second storm? No, will not be the case. These DTs dealing so much damage, though. 5 kills on every single DT. Actually, 5 kills on 2 out of the 4 DTs. 11 kills total on these bad boys. Still, that's a lot of kills. 2 more Disruptors on the way here. 5 bases mining for Trap. 35 SCVs for HeroMarine against the 67 of the Protoss player. The Zealots will be charging in right now. upgrades are in favor of the Korean Proles as well. Triple DTs, well, not with this medevac count, should not be enough. Another warp window, a disruptor shot, it's a possibility. He lives too early, needs to drop again, and as a result we'll lose one more medevac in that exchange. And I think this is going to be the time where Trap says, okay, I killed basically all of your production. You haven't been building anything. I still have 4 DTs in your main base. I can blink in, I can blink out, I can kill whatever I like. I also still have this base on the right side mining, which I can just be moving to. GG gets called. As Trap wins this game here on Hardwire and shows HeroMarine how it's done. I really believe that HeroMarine was in a fantastic position majority of the game, taking one bad fight, taking one or two bad trades, really costing him there. Perhaps not doing that army split as well with such a high medevac count could be considered a mistake. In the end, Trap survives with 3 types of splash: the Disruptor, the Templar, and the Disruptor. In the end, they're definitely helping him out. That's going to be it for me today. Thanks all so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.